Okay, so now let's do our set method. So it's very similar to get, and I'm just going to bring this up like this. But instead of just getting something at an index, we're going to go to that index and change the value of the item at that index. So there's not much more to explain than that. So I'm going to say if you want to code this, this would be a good place to pause this, but I would give you one clue before you do that. You can use other methods inside of a method. So you can use the get method here, or you can do the entire set method without doing that, either way. The way we're going to do it is by using the get method. So I'm going to bring up a linked list like this. And one of the things that we know is if we are going to iterate through the list, get to a particular index and change something, in order to iterate through the list, we are going to need a variable. So let's say we're going to go to the index of 1 here, and we're going to change the value of this item from 3 to 4. It would look something like this. For now, I'm just going to change this back. So for now, I'm just going to say let temp. In the get method, we set temp equal to this dot head. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to show you why here in a second. So there's a lot of similarities between the set and the get method as far as all the steps that we need to do. So just like the get method, if we have an index of -1, or we could say anything less than 0, we want this to be undefined. Anything that's greater than or equal to this dot length, we want that to be undefined. Otherwise, we want temp to point to the appropriate node. So we can do that by just saying let temp be equal to this dot get and pass it the index that we're looking for in the set method. And that's going to either take temp and make it where it is undefined. Temp is going to be equal to undefined in this case, or it's going to be equal to the node that we're looking for. So what we have to do at this point is determine, is temp undefined or is temp pointing to a node? So we'll do this with an if statement. We'll just say if temp. And this is true if temp is pointing to a node. And then we say temp.value equals the value that we passed to the set method. And in this case, we had this equal to 4, and that changes that 3 to a 4. But there's one other thing we have to do inside this if statement. We need the code to stop running at this point, so we need to have a return statement, and we will return true that we were able to change that value. Otherwise, temp is undefined, which is going to cause that if statement to not run, and we're just going to return false. And that is all of our code for the set method. It's very clean because we are just reusing the code that was in the get method, and we don't have to write all that out again. So we will look at this code in a second in Chrome DevTools. But first, I'm going to bring this up, and this is going to be the linked list that we create when we go over to Chrome DevTools. And what we'll do is we will run the set method with an index of 1 and change the value to 4 at that index. Okay, so let's flip over to Chrome DevTools. There is our set method, and this is going to create that linked list that I just showed the diagram of. I'm just going to run this, and it returns the linked list, and I'm just going to open this up, and I really want to look at that second item since that's the one we're going to change. So that's this item here, has a value of 3 for now. I'm going to clear this. I'm going to say my linked list dot set with an index of 1 and a value of 4. And it returns true. So I'm going to clear this. And now let's look at our linked list. And I'm going to open this up and look at our second item. And the value has now been changed to 4. All right, so it looks like we have a working method for set.